I recently was having a conversation about someone who nearly got eaten by a hippo.
Tasty. Divine.
It's kind of like these flavors rarely go together. It's not really done. This is quite unique, but it just makes so much sense. The way they've blended it together, and I think they like bake it together like this oxtail and mac and cheese. I mean, who does that? You got to be kind of crazy in your mind to think of this concoction. It works so well. The way it's blended together, the flavors is not overpowering. You can taste mac and cheese, you can taste oxtail, and it just goes so well together. So honestly, guys, I'm giving this a strong 4.9. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
4.9. Yeah, it's a high 4.9 to me. This is near perfection. This is good, very good.
I have to agree. I'm usually quite critical of Caribbean food and African food because I always feel like you can always do it better at home. However, they have got the flavours really well. I've got the curry goat mac and cheese, and I feel like the contrasting flavours work really, really well together. Like, it's a winner. But can we talk about these prawns, please? These are so good because it's like they've managed to get all of the flavours on there and still maintain the crisp of the batter or whatever it is. I'm assuming
I've never tasted those prawns ever.
So anyway, the prawns are good. Very good. The flavour, sometimes I find that when you get these sauces, it either makes the batter go really soggy or it's too overbearing, but it's a really good balance. Plus the sesame seeds, on top also add like an extra layer of flavor. They're banging. I would give it a 4.9 as well. And I don't usually do that. I'm very, very picky, but the food bangs. Really, really good.
Alright, Charlotte, you let me steal a second prawn, and I thank you for that. So let's introduce you to the Travel Gang followers. So tell us a bit about Charlotte. Who is Charlotte?
So I am a specialist consultant. I'm in neurodiversity, intersectionality, which is a word that not a lot of people know about, but I'm getting out there. Intersectionality is where you don't just give someone support based on one part of who they are. So not all women need the same support, not all people from a certain ethnicity, not all disabled people. I'm autistic and ADHD, but I don't need the same support as the next person, and it's basically looking at each individual as a whole and all of those elements that intersect to give them the right level of support rather than just putting them in a box, basically. It's probably the best way to explain it. So yeah, intersectionality, neurodiversity and inclusion with the bigger picture is basically social impact. So yeah, that's what I do, but I also model, host PBS Network, and I write. I'm a guest writer as well. So, yeah.
You said modeling, yeah? I swear you was in Paris or something, no?
I've had some really cool experiences, yeah. I've walked runway in Paris for Sephora. I've modelled for Vogue. Who else? You might see me on TV in the ad breaks of football, and a McDonald's advert with my son. Both of my children model as well, and have had really good opportunities. Most recently, we modelled as a family for the Shakespeare Globe, Madame Tussauds. She came to the launch for that, and the Design Museum and a few other places. And I'm currently starring in a video, like an accessibility video for Hampton Court Palace, which is really cool. That's probably my favourite piece of work as well.
Hampton Court Palace, yeah?
Yeah, the video is wicked, but I love history and like the visuals and stuff, but it's like a video of me. But wow. Yeah, it's really cool. I love it.
So we want to talk travel. So I've got a few travel questions. So number one, what do you love the most about traveling?
Experiencing new things, exploring those memories that obviously it doesn't make sense to say travel is like priceless memories because obviously you're paying for it. However, I feel like when you do make those memories, they're the kind of things that you take through life and always can look back on and those experiences. So I feel like if you are going to invest money into something, I always feel like travel is a really good way to start because clothes and shoes you outgrow or they get stuffed, but the memories are priceless and you can keep them forever. Yeah.
So you probably had some really good experiences, maybe some bad ones. What's something crazy that's ever happened to you or someone you know when traveling?
So I recently was having a conversation about someone who nearly got eaten by a hippo.
A hippo?
The story's crazy because me and my
Soon
daughter, but me and my daughter, we love to watch animal documentaries and we're like almost obsessed with hippos because they look so lovely and friendly, but they're like one of the most dangerous animals. They're like one of the most dangerous, and then they're the only animal I've ever seen a lion look absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
We watched this clip where the hippo was chasing the lion out of the water, and it's crazy. But to know that someone I know could literally feel the breath of a hippo on their skin,
That
it's crazy.
No Colgate breath. It smells
Honestly,
like.
but my experiences with travel, to be honest, have mostly been really good. Yeah.
Good.
Actually, no. I just remember something.
You got eaten by hippo as well?
A couple of years ago, my son's godmother was surprising him for a trip. She was taking him away. Never told him. I packed a suitcase and I told her I was dropping something off to her. And when we got to the station, it was like, "Oh, you're going on holiday with your auntie," and waved him off. He was so excited, he couldn't believe it. He cried, everything. Cried with happy tears. And then the next day, she phoned me and said they won't let us on the flight. And basically, it was at that time when there was that new law that came in about needing a certain amount of time left on your passport. And it had literally just come in, and she was off by like a day. But they let her book it, check in, all of that stuff. And when they got to the gate, turned them away. It was horrible. We ended up in Brighton for the weekend, but just trying to make up for the fact that obviously we weren't having a holiday. But so that was also an experience.
Yeah, that sucks. You got any trips coming up this year? You know where you go?
We usually like to go away for Christmas.
Yeah.
So last year we went to Disneyland in Orlando, which was amazing. And the year before we went to Egypt, and we usually leave like around the 20th. No, we usually leave mid-December actually, and then we come back early January or just before New Year.
Okay.
But yeah, usually what I like to do is plan a surprise.
Yeah.
The kids have no idea. And then the day before, I'm like, guess what, guys? And then they open their gifts, which is usually a suitcase wrapped and packed. And then we say, go bed, we're going out in the morning. And then we fly out the next day. We've done it twice now, 2 years in a row. I don't think we'll get away with it this year because they're going to know now.
Have you ever done a solo trip before?
Yes.
Would you recommend it? Like, was it good, bad, lonely? Would you recommend it for other ladies who are thinking of doing their first solo trip? We've got a lot of followers who thinking of doing that first solo trip. As a woman, would you advise it? Any tips you would give?
I think there's a lot of different things to think about. Obviously, where you're going, so safety, because there are some not very nice people involved.
Yeah.
But
So don't go Peckham.
Most definitely not.
Yeah, not by yourself.
Don't know what comes out of Peckham.
Yeah.
People they produce there. But I think that when it comes to a solo trip, it depends on who you are as a person and what kind of things you put in place. If you're like massively introverted, really awkward around not having someone there as comfort, and don't really have a plan, it can be quite lonely. I'm someone who prefers to have someone to bounce off of. As much as I like my own space, that's when I'm at home in my comfort space. But when you're out, it's quite difficult to be able to enjoy certain places, especially if you have like anxiety around meeting new people. So it really does depend on you.
That could really mess up your holiday. Like, you want to socialize, feeling lonely, you can't approach anyone. I've been there. Like, that was my early experience in traveling because I didn't have people to travel with. And people, I'm on stage in front of 7,000 people today. But in my early years, before I got into business, I'm a super introvert. So for me, I'm like, I see a bunch of people having fun, doing stuff. I was in a hostel. Everybody knows each other. They're talking. and I'm just like, oh man, I just,
Awkward, isn't it?
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
scared. So yeah,
And for me, I'm like that. I'm really good and outgoing in spaces where I feel like I've got a reason. Like when I'm hosting, I'm there for a reason.
Yeah.
But when I'm having to introduce myself to people or make conversation, I don't enjoy that. So that takes away from
the
a solo
experience,
trip
yeah.
for me personally. So I just prefer traveling with my kids, to be honest.
yeah.
Yeah.
If your kids don't want to talk to you either, then it's like peak, innit? Like, I don't know. Like,
No,
"Mummy."
usually it's mum needs a break, and they're
Yeah.
like, mum,
It's like,
because
stop talking to me.
as soon as when they see you get comfortable, that's when they want to bother you. My favourite time's probably travelling with my partner, to be honest.
Yeah.
We've had some really cool trips together as well.
Well, what do you say your best holiday is? You say you do one. Your best trip.
I really struggle to answer that. It's probably Vegas, but I've had some really good holidays.
Vegas, yeah?
Yes.
Vegas is a vibe, man.
My partner.
Vegas is a vibe. I love
Yeah.
Vegas.
I was basically surprised for my 30th a couple of days before we went. That's what she did, yeah. Yeah. So my partner basically just surprise, I'm taking you to Vegas, and he booked it. Cosmopolitan Hotel. We had the best time, like helicopter rides and Cirque du Soleil and everything was wicked.
Okay.
Yeah. My 30th was
great.
good.
Oh yeah, Amsterdam. Shit.
Because I'm always on money mode. Oh God, yeah, Amsterdam. You asked about my worst trip.
Now it's all coming out.
You know what about this thing, yeah? Hey, we went on holiday, didn't it? Together to Amsterdam. Back in the days.
That's what I'm referring to, yeah.
And
We went to Amsterdam,
we went to Amsterdam, yeah. Amsterdam. Do we dare talk about Amsterdam?
Like a little big group ball.
What was it again?
Everyone got
Fritz.
Sorry. Or what was it? The Duffy of Amsterdam? Oh no, it was a funny trip. Yeah.
Basically,
Don't do drugs, kids.
you don't do drugs, and I established that drugs is not for me. Drugs is not for me. Amsterdam's
that was jokes.
another conversation, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to invite you to the podcast, and we're gonna talk about those trips as well.
Yeah.
18 rating on it, man.
Yeah, 18 over 80s only.
Rated R.
To be fair, considering where we were, it was still pretty PG. Like we
fair,
didn't
to
do
be
too
fair.
much madness. It was just nice.
good.
It was just a nice trip between like just a group of friends, really.
Yeah. That Amsterdam trip was lit. Have you been to Amsterdam before, David?
About 4 times, yeah. Amsterdam's cool, but I've never dabbled in the drugs in Amsterdam. Like when I first tried, my mom's gonna be watching this, right? No, just because she's Nigerian, so I've got to be careful. Because she still knows how to fight. I'm just like, at her age, you know, a big age, she's doing taekwondo. But anyway, I never ever touched any of the drug, weed stuff at all in all my years of traveling. When I went to Amsterdam, I never did it. But my first actually weird experience, just taking a caveat, was during the pandemic. Like I've always looked down at drugs and drink. I never touched it up until 2021 or something.
Was lockdown that hard for you?
Say again?
Was lockdown that hard?
Do you know what it was? It was actually like, so one of my boys had like a housewarming. He bought a new house, had a housewarming, and they had some edibles. So I'm like, alright, cool. It's like a little tiny jelly baby something. So I'm like,
they really
Don't tell me strips.
just sweets.
Oh my God, how many?
5.
Oh wow.
For your first time?
400 milligram, first time.
That's
I mean it
what I'm
like
saying.
the way you eat
Those
Haribos.
innocent
I
little
mean it
sweets.
like them innocent little sweets that will change your whole credit score, make you come back from the police station looking mad ridiculous. So at first I'm just like fine, and then when it kicks in, I think I laughed non-stop for about 4 hours. They told me I was
That sounds
laughing
exhausting.
non-stop for 4 hours, non-stop. Then I dabbled again a bit more. And this is when I was back in my flat.
In what?
Yeah.
And basically, I was running around my flat nearly bucket naked. I was running outside. I thought I was about to die. I'm not gonna. This is a true story. This is during like the heat of lockdown, where we're not really allowed out and we're given curfew.
My lockdown was so
I was.
great.
This should be said for the podcast, to be fair, but
I wanted to let the audience know more about you as well. Where you from and stuff as well. What country, your background.
So my mum is English, Highbury, North London, born and raised, and then my dad is from Nigeria. So don't know if you guys studied the Benin Kingdom at school. That's where my my Nigerian sides were originally from, which is Edo State in Nigeria. So yeah, Benin.
But we was saying as well about your favorite destination, Vegas, and what have you got planned this year? What country you going to this year?
So we're trying to decide. There's a couple of places that are more towards the top of the list, but because we've done the whole surprise thing 2 years in a row, I think it might be fun to let the kids help us decide this time. However, I've made the decision to remove my son from that equation because man's talking about Northern Lights and snow and all them places. And
This is the best year for the Northern Lights, apparently.
yeah, but somewhere a bit more down south. I'm not going to Lapland. Do you know how cold it is? My friend came back from Lapland last year. When she came back the next day, we was in a Zoom meeting. She can still feel the cold in her bones. She said something about -50. No, so my son's been removed. My daughter's talking places like Mexico and Thailand, and then that's my language. Yeah.
I do want to see the Northern Lights though. That would be cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just not from Lapland.
What are you saying?
Canada.
Mr. Go Travel. Northern Lights this year. Are you on it?
No, I'm definitely
Towards the end of the year.
Definitely down. Yeah.
That's a
But
trip we got
then
organised.
it doesn't include. He wants to go to the proper north where it's cold.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking Canada you can watch the Northern Lights from, or other places, just maybe not that far up north.
No, I think Iceland's meant to be the spot to do it though.
Iceland somewhere I would definitely consider. It's beautiful. But yeah, and also, so we usually go away for Christmas, but my daughter really, really, really wants to go to New York. She's like obsessed with the Statue of Liberty, and she's also obsessed with going on a bougie airplane. May not be able to deliver on the second. I've got to keep manifesting. But she keeps watching YouTube videos of people doing reviews of the first class cabins.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, you keep doing that because you might manifest it for the both of us.
How old is she?
She's 6.
6, and she's dreaming of business class trips. Bro, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
man.
but
Kids of today, bro.
yeah, sometimes when you think about these things, I'm a big believer in manifesting. So I'm like, yeah, baby, you go and imagine yourself in that first class cabin. You never know if it happen. Working hard as well, and I said, by the end of this year.
Yeah. I heard that. So what, I heard that you're going south of France this year, though.
I am going.
What's going on there?
This year.
Try not to tell us about that south of France trip, yeah?
I booked my ticket to go to Cannes Lions this year. I've also applied for being a creator and a contributor to the event. I'm waiting to hear back about that. But that's like a joint application with my modelling agency because we want to do, we want to raise awareness around inclusion and the importance of positive representation. So yeah, so we pitched it. We're going to wait and see what happens.
Final closing question. What would you say to that person who hasn't really travelled much ever or hasn't done it for a long time? And this year, 2025, is going to be the biggest year in travel for mankind history. That's what the records are saying. What would you tell that person who's kind of scared, apprehensive about travelling, whether by themselves or in a group, to do this year? Whether just dive in, go for it, or just play it cool, calm? Like, what would you say to someone who's contemplating making this year a travel year for them?
So as someone who had a good few years where I didn't travel and then finally just taking that step, sometimes it feels like a really big step just to book it. But when you then do it, it's just so much easier. But it's that first step, I reckon, that's usually the hard part. Then once you've done that, you realise that it's not that bad at all. And it took me taking that step in 2023, when I booked Egypt. We went to Egypt, and that was the first time we'd had a holiday in about 6 years, I think, since my daughter was a baby. And now this year we booked and went to Orlando, went to Disney at Christmas, so in 2024, and we're already now looking for holidays. It's just, sometimes things feel bigger than they are until you do it, and then it's minor.
So just to touch on with that question as well, yeah? You said you went to Disneyland. Have you got any advice for parents that are taking their kids to Disneyland? The do's and do nots for Disneyland as well?
I found that we spent most of our time in Disney, and then the amount of money that we spent travelling back and forwards, we may as well have just stayed there. So that's definitely something. Next time we're booking a Disney hotel, we're going to stay there. Even if it is more, it works out better because you usually get better deals, or you get like the food packages or whatever it may be. And then when you do want to go out into Orlando or around, just go out, but you're not gonna, do you know what I mean? Because you can't do Disney in a day or two. You can spend 2 weeks in Disney and still not touch the surface. Like, it's huge. People don't realise. I think they say it's like the size of Manchester or something.
It's a ridiculous size.
It has its own motorway. It's massive. Like, they have a motorway within Disney to get between the different parks. Because Disney's like 6 parks, I think. I can't remember. But even the road signs have like Disney is where Mickey Mouse is wicked. But
Disney's a vibe.
you need to, if you look and think, oh no, I can just do 2 days in Disney. No, you cannot. Unless you're waking up at the crack of dawn and you're staying there till night time, you need those 2 weeks that they offer you in those deals. So either a minimum a week, but I would say just do the 2 weeks, because usually you can get 2 weeks for the price of one when they do the deals. And if there is a decent package to stay in Disney, unless you're really going to spend a lot of time out in Orlando, which we didn't, I would suggest doing that, because we were getting up in the morning, and then because we didn't want to be restricted by the shuttle times of our hotel, we were paying Uber, sometimes like over 100, nearly £200 on Ubers a day, because we stayed on International Drive near the Orlando Eye. Our hotel was right opposite, and we're thinking, because then we get the best of both worlds. We're doing Disney and there. No, it's just the way. And I was pissed because we're traveling, and then the hotels are nicer in Disney as well. So I'm like, so we're staying in a shittier hotel. We spent all that extra money. We may as well have just stayed there and then just ventured out when we wanted to, because you are going to need the time in Disney. Go on the Flight of Passage Avatar ride. Is the most beautiful.
That was serious.
The best ride I've ever experienced in my life.
That was serious.
It's like when I went last time, they never had it.
Okay.
It was Soaring was my favourite. That's the one at Epcot, where you are in this immersive experience where you literally feel like you're flying around the world, and it goes over different parts. So you fly over the pyramids, you fly over like the ocean and Africa, and each part you go to, you get the sensation. So you can smell the grass in Africa when you go to Africa. You can feel the spray of the ocean when you go over the ocean. All of these different things, you can feel the wind. It's like beautiful. So we was really excited to go back to that. When we went back, they've got a whole Pandora, which is basically the world of in Avatar. I'm a huge Avatar fan. Like, the visuals, beautiful, and I always used to joke, I want to fly on one of them things and experience
the little dragon things. That's how I did. That was one of the best rides.
There's like this ride, and you kind of sit on it. It's like sitting on a motorbike, and you wear the glasses, and this massive screen comes up in front of you, and it's an immersive VR experience. So you literally feel like you are flying on one of them things, and you're swooping and going all around, and you have the
4K,
glasses,
so you get all the water.
So you get the water spray. You feel the sensation of flying, and then when you come out of there, obviously when you go Disney, they make the whole area the full experience. So they've got like the Star Wars area where you feel like you're in Star Wars. So in the Avatar bit, you're walking through the jungle with the bright coloured flowers and the big things up in the.
It's good. Now, one thing I'll say is that Disney is probably the most expensive place you can take your kids, but every child wants to go to Disney. So get in touch with Pat-Man, get in touch with myself, Mr. Go Travel. If you are looking to do Disney 2025, could potentially, because it's going to be so expensive for mum, dad, or 1 or 2 children, could potentially help you save about £1,000, $1,000 on that trip.
But one thing we didn't get from you is, how can people get in touch with you? What's your social handles?
You can contact me through my website, which is basically my name, so charlottemarionpearson.com, and it's Charlotte Marion Pearson on all social networks, so that's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere, Charlotte Marion Pearson.
And apparently you're on AI as well, ChatGPT, no? You can check her out on ChatGPT, guys, as well. But yeah, guys, we're at Double Net now, and we've tried the food. I think that the food was decent still. I think it was nice. I think I'll give it a solid 4 out of 5. The patty, what is it again? Mac and cheese?
Loaded patty.
Loaded patties, that's the name of it. The loaded patties are definitely a must try. I think the curry goat mac and cheese, though, was probably my best thing here. And the second was maybe the prawns.
I like the prawns.
What was it?
Were they honey jerk?
Honey jerk
prawns, yeah.
And I don't even like curry goat, typically. I don't like oxtail. Oxtail was nice as well. And then they had a jerk chicken patty. I think that was sick as well. But I think my favourite was probably the curry goat macaroni and cheese. Yeah. It's decent. So yeah, if you get the chance, check out Double Knot in North London. Any other feedback for the restaurant?
Hey, I'm taking mine home right now, man. We got the containers, like, serious, man. This has got to last till Christmas, you know, and it's February right now, so
I'm
yeah.
still recovering from pain
Serious
Disney,
food,
so, yeah.
serious food. I definitely recommend. If you're in North London, especially, come through.
Yeah. Not just that. Do you know what? Actually, one more thing to note. The service is really nice in here. The staff are lovely, really welcoming, really accommodating. So that's definitely worth noting. I'm happy with it.
We out, man. We out. Peace. Yes, guys. So the double knot review was absolutely amazing. Food was banging. But don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Follow your boy on Instagram at Mr. Go Travel.
And myself at West Batman on Instagram as well.